Hey, what's going on, everybody? Movie Phantom here, and yes, time for another Movie Phantom's horror review. I'm joined by my girlfriend, Maya. And yeah, here we are. This week we are reviewing Hostel and Interview with the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire of Vampire. It's the Vampire. The Vampire Chronicles. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. We're going to start off with Hostel. Personal favorite of mine. Basically, you get a couple of American backpackers who join up with this Icelandic backpacker going through Europe. I'll get to you. But no, they're backpacking through Europe. And after they're basically just partying it up and, getting laid and shit. And while they're in Amsterdam, this other guy tells them about Yugoslavia, Bulgaria. I don't know. It's some kind of Bratislava. Look at that. How'd you remember that? All right, give you crap. Sorry, I will never doubt you again. They go to Bratislava, and while they're there, basically they encounter rich people who basically, instead of they're just so jaded with going to whorehouses and just getting laid that they pay to kill people, and they unfortunately become victims of that. Alright, so when this movie first came out, really the only thing, I think, I could be wrong if I am, but I think at that point, Eli Roth only did Cabin Fever, which I was a huge fan of Cabin Fever. So when I found out Eli Roth was doing their movie, I was like, fucking hard. And then when it said Quentin Tarantino presents, I just started shooting ropes, this big ropey strands all over the fucking place. It was disgusting, and I can never go back to Hardee's now. Anyways, I don't know why I was at Hardee's when I heard it. Anyway, it don't matter. But no, I was pumped to see this movie, and this was 2006. I think it was made 2005, but it came out 2006, like January. And at that point, we've had two Saw movies under our belts. I think Saw 2 came out the summer of 2005. So, but torture porn was not yet established as a thing, and this is the first movie to kind of established that as a subgenre. But yeah, I remember being pumped to see it, and what I liked, I remember when it came out, a lot of people bitched about this aspect of it. But, when you see the trailers, you just see torture and mayhem and carnage. And literally, the first half of this movie is like a teen sex comedy. And I don't want to say first half, we'll say the first act of this movie. It's just these three guys, bumming around, partying, fucking, and you're just like, yeah.
And then one of their friends go missing, and basically they apparently he went home, and
And you're right. But then what I'm saying though is, I remember when that came out, people was complaining about that. Everybody was like, "Well, the first 30 minutes is just tits, stupid. I want to see." I'm like, well, calm the fuck down. Like it's a movie. And I like that. Like to me, that took two different genres: the teen sex comedy and just I wouldn't say slasher, but horror, torture, and just melded them together. And it put them together, perfectly. So yeah, and of course, like she said, when Oli, disappears, right off the bat, something's not right. I mean, we as an audience already know he's fucked because we know what kind of movie it is, so we already know he's fucked. But even if you were in their shoes, it's not right because he got it pretty close. They've been hanging out or whatever, and the fact that he just kind of disappears one night, he's just like, I'm gone. Really kind of throws them off. I think the one thing also, and I don't want to come off sounding like this ignorant American. Unfortunately, I have not had a chance to travel outside of the U.S. I would love to. And I know that not every, I think even the country they're portraying, because it wasn't filmed in Bratislava, it was filmed in the Czech Republic, I believe. But people in Bratislava was upset. They're like, this is not our town, this ain't how. And I get that. I'm not, hey, absolutely. But being an American and you're watching this movie, you can put yourself in that spot because you're so far away from home. You're no longer, the rules no longer apply. It's their laws. And the fact that in this movie you find out, later on, spoiler alert. Yeah, spoiler alert. The cops
are. 2006. This is 2015.
Alright, spoiler. The cops are in on it. You find that out way later on, but yeah, you see that the cops are paying off, these rich billionaires or whatever. And So it does kind of give you a different feeling. Like, holy fuck, like, that could be me. Like, what would I do in that situation? And in fact, I remember a buddy of mine, around the time this came out, actually, he was going to he was going to Australia, though, but they have hostels over there, too. And I'm like, you want to watch Hostel? And he's like, no, because I'm going to be in a hostel. Because we didn't know, because at that time, we didn't know what the movie's about. The movie says hostel, and it's, fucking... The trailer's just people getting killed, so we didn't know if it was actually like people trapped in a hostel being slaughtered or whatever the case may be. But he was like, "No, I'm staying in a hostel. I don't want to see this shit when I go over there." So yeah, he refused to watch this right back. I don't know if he ever watched it or not. After that, but no, it is that it kind of preys on that. I don't want to say fish out. The out-of-towners. You're in a different land, and now this shit happens, and who do you run to? And once again, once the guy got their hooks in you're fucked. And it has, like, once again, even as an audience, even though we know, even before you've even seen this, you know what's going on. Like, shit's not right. But Eli Roth did a really good job of just kind of showing this dread, conveying this dread throughout. One of my favorite scenes is, because early on, when they first show up at the hostel, there's these, it's a co-ed type thing. And these two girls are, they look very lovely. They're getting dressed. Like, you see them, they're naked and shit, and they're getting dressed. Like, it's no big deal. And they're like, well, hey, we're heading to the sauna. You want to join us? And, of course, what are the guys going to do? Well, they're going to fucking join. Whenever the main guy's friend disappears, and he's by himself now, and of course, at this point, they're supposed to check out, he goes back to the room, and now there's two different girls getting dressed, and they do the same thing. Hey, we're heading to the sauna. You want to come with us? And like, holy shit, like, this is what they do. This is how they trap you every time. They get you to, drop your guard, and, because who wouldn't party with thing girls, and unfortunately, that's what happens. And then, of course, they drug your ass, and then they take you to the area, and then, yeah. Another thing I really liked about it was, very psycho-ish in a way, in a sense, because when you're watching a movie, the first act is kind of more around, I forget the guy's name, it's not Jay.
Isn't that the guy that been killing them? Wasn't he on the train with them?
Yes, he was. I'm trying to think okay, Derek Richardson's his name. Jay Hernandez is the other guy. Derek Richardson, though, it looks like he's going to be the main character. I mean, it's focused more on him. He's he's the straight one of the two. Jay Hernandez's character is the party guy, constantly like, fuck it, let's just get drunk and fuck these bitches. And typically in horror movies, the guy who wants to party, get drunk, and fuck the bitches gets killed first. You know what I mean? And the responsible one is the one that, And here, once again, since they do more or less focus it on him. You're seeing shit more through his eyes than you are the other one. And when he winds up getting killed, you're like, holy shit, like I wasn't expect. And I remember the first time I watched it, it did throw me out. I was like, holy shit, like I was expecting it to be more about, this guy, not the other one. And yeah, they did throw that shit away real quick. The torture scenes themselves are brutal. And I still cringe. I watched this the other night, and I still cringed. The scene where Derek Richardson's character is sitting in the chair, and they fucking cut his Achilles. And both of them, and the guy's like, you want to get out?
Achilles.
Right behind your heel right here. Yeah, you slice that shit, you try to stand on that, you're fucked. You just go down. And of course the guy, when you said it met him on the train, he opens the door up, and he's like, you want out? Go. And of course he stands up, and of course you just see it, and it rips, and I'm like, I'm cringing now. And the dude goes down. But dude, he is trying to get out. I love the fact that both guys throw up when they're, cause that's something you don't really see too often. You do see it. I'm not saying, I know Devil's Rejects had a scene like that and everything, but I like seeing that because you don't see that very often. And I don't know, I just feel like that's taking horror to a different level right there when, you're so scared that you just start vomiting. I really like that. Trying to think something else I'll do. So like the torture scenes are brutal. Dude, when the one guy has the girl with the blowtorch on her face and you can see her eyeball, like the rest of it's just kind of sealed up, but her eyeball's hanging and they snip it in the pus. Look brutal. And I should mention, I think his name's Matt Hoffman. Mike Hoffman? Matt? He's not... Rick Hoffman. Sorry, I was way the fuck off. Rick Hoffman. He's the guy whenever Jay Hernandez is... he's already lost some fingers. And he makes his daring escape. Which, once again, the whole movie I mean, I know people who are more mainstream and don't really consider horror, whatever. Fuck you guys, anyways. Say what you want, but I'm telling you right now, dude, this movie is full of suspense. Like, I mean, at least for me, as I'm watching it, when you see him, first, when he's trapped there, when Jay Hernandez is trapped in the chair, and you're like, he's gonna get out, but like, is he gonna make it out? Like, is he gonna actually and he gets out. Like, he fucking gets him, I mean, it's an ordeal, but he finally gets out of the fucking room. And you're like, can you get out of the warehouse? Can you get out of this, the art show? Can you get out of the entire building? He gets out of the building, but he hears the Chinese girl screaming, and he's like, fuck. And even me, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, dude. She's done for, leave her. But he doesn't. He goes back, and the whole time you're like, don't fucking go back. Don't go back. Dude, it is just so, it's filled with tension. I mean, it really is. All the way till the end, because at that point now, there's cops doing roadblocks. There's cops at the train station. I mean, it's like, how would you get out of that? You wouldn't. Like, your best chance would honestly be to, like, try to just run through a field and just hope you hit a border and you just keep going. To me, that's how I'd get out of it. But the one scene I really liked, and to me, I won't say he stole the show, but he kind of did, was Rick Hoffman's character. When Jay Hernandez, he got his fingers in his pockets or whatever, and he put the chauffeur, he has like a little suit on and everything like that. And Rick Hoffman walks in, and he's like, what's up? And you find out he's just a customer, is all it is. But dude, the performance he gives is just great. And I've only seen this guy in two things. He was in this, and he was also in The Condemned. And two different characters, but his personality shined through both of them. But it's awesome, and I really dug that. Like, I just thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, he did really great in that, and has a really good scene, because you're like, is this guy going to kind of blow up the cover for him? Or, really awesome. And I also like the fact that it is almost like a whorehouse in a sense, because early on when they're at the whorehouse in Amsterdam, and the Derek Richardson character is walking around, he's walking around the halls, and there's all these different rooms, and he's going in there. He peeks into one of them, and of course they're like, fucking, shut the door, or you gotta pay to watch, or something like that. And then later on, when Jay Hernandez is going through there, of course, you see all these different rooms of people being tortured. He goes into the Rick Hoffman room. Of course, he's the one who's torturing the Chinese girl. And, of course, as he goes in there, it's almost the same kind of mentality. Like, hey, dude, shut the door. You got to pay. I paid for this. You got to shut the door or whatever. And I just kind of like how there's the similarity there between those two things. I thought that was really great. And the movie is just fucking awesome. I'm a huge fan of this movie. I think it is one of my favorites. In fact, it is my favorite Eli Roth movie. Even though Cabin Fever is a close, fucking close right there, I gotta go Hostel. Because, it's so much more brutal. And I just love the story. These guys are real. I like the characters. They come off arrogant and kind of douchey and just loud, annoying. I guess they are just kind of the typical, like, Americans in another country. But I can identify with that. I'm 30 now. If I was younger, fresh out of high school, I am these guys. You know what I mean? So I definitely would have been like that, and would have got myself fucked up over there. Damn good movie. Fucking love it. I don't know what to add to this. Sweetie, please give us your thoughts and everything on it.
It was brutal. Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
And then I do like the final scene where he actually loses his fingers, and they're gone. Like, the guy picks them up, scoops them up, and throws them into the fire incinerator or whatever. He didn't have his fingers in the pocket yet. He lost them. Anyways, he bumps into the guy because it's the guy that met on the train, and then he's the one that actually killed his friend. And then whenever he sees him again or hears him again on the train, he follows him into the bathroom and just fucks his world up, and then cuts his fingers off and he takes them with him. So definitely like that. So this was followed by two sequels. Hostel Part 2, I did not care for. It was just a carbon copy remake of this one, and I don't know, wasn't feeling it. Just was not feeling it. And I get to see Part 3, which is like a Las Vegas themed one, which I haven't seen. Which I hear okay things about. Like, I haven't heard anything great, but I hadn't really heard anything too bad either. So I don't know. I probably will check out Hostel 3, but I personally did not care for it. Like, aside from like one scene, Hostel Part 2 just was not my thing. So, but All right, anything else you want to add? Or?
Nope.
No? All right, so that was Hostel. All right, up next, we got Interview with the Vampire. The Vampire Chronicles. Sweetie, I took the lead last time. I'll go ahead and set it up, and I'll let you take the lead on this one. The basic premise is we follow two vampires. You got Lestat and Louis. Lestat played by Tom Cruise, Louis Brad Pitt. And early on, Lestat turns Louis into a vampire to be his companion. And basically, it's just we travel through the ages with these vampires and what they're up to. So, sweetie.
They find a little girl, and they turn her into a vampire.
Yep, played by Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
I forget her name. Claire, I think.
Yeah, Claire.
Claire, okay. I just watched it the other night. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with character names. I'm better with actor names. But.
My favorite part was when she cut her hair and then it grew back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, she's trying to kill her dad so it'll stop growing.
Yeah, yeah. But it didn't work.
No. Yeah.
Alright. That it?
Yeah.
Alright. You want to add anything to it? Like, what did you think about it?
I loved it. It's one of my favorite vampire movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Kristen Dunst in it. She did a good job.
Yeah.
And a lot of people.
I was a big fan of this movie. And even as it came out in 94, so I mean, I was a kid when this came out. And even then, I kind of knew this was a different type of vampire movie. And as I got older, it became, like, I don't want to use the word guilty pleasure because I will stand behind this movie. I think it's great. This is way better than any fucking Twilight bullshit out there. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But no, I mean, it is more on that female side of things. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a chick type movie. I'm not saying it is a chick movie. I'm just saying it feels more like a chick movie than, you know, like The Lost Boys or From Dusk Till Dawn or even Dracula, you know. Well, the original Dracula, not the Bram Stoker one. But anyways, so I watched it at a young age, and I just loved it then. Like, it surprises me now because, especially when I was a kid, I could not really focus on drama that much. Like, I had to have killing or it had to be funny, but it just seems like anything that was more dramatically based, I just zoned out of pretty fucking quickly. And especially in 94. Like, it wasn't until junior high, which my junior high years were like 97 to 99. And, yeah, and so it wasn't until then I started kind of branching out, but even then it was a very slow process. So at this, I'm looking back at this, and it's like there's not a whole lot of action going on. Like, it is just like a tale of these two guys who are, you know, he's coming to terms with being a vampire, and he whines a lot, and you're just kind of like, how did I, at that age, sit down by? I mean, I guess it's just the allure of the vampire. Like, I've always liked vampires. Like, at a young age, I, you know, Lost Boys and fucking Fright Night and shit, and just always a big fan, so it just seems like this, you know, maybe that's what it was. I dig I've never read the book, so I can't compare it to the book or anything like that, but I really dig the movie. I think Tom Cruise's character is great. I'm not even a big Tom Cruise fan, but I love him in this movie. Brad Pitt does awesome in his. And I don't know, it's almost like I hate the fact that Louis whines the entire time. Like, I'm definitely more on the Lestat side of things. Like, that's awesome. You're a fucking... And I think everybody who watches this, even though you're kind of rooting for Louis because he's the good guy of the movie, I think we're all Lestat. I mean, I think everybody who wants to be a vampire... You want to be a vampire because you want to be a fucking vampire. You want to revel in it and fucking just, you know, go out, do your thing, kill, you know, all that shit. And Louis, on the other hand, he cries and he whines and I'm like, I never quite understood, like, why don't, like, when we get whiny ass vampires, and this isn't any of them, like fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula, where Gary Oldman just cries for fucking 2 hours straight, or, you know, any of the movies at all. When you got whiny vampires, like, you know, you can kill yourself. You can just stay outside when that sun comes up and be like, oh, see you later. Movie over. Now let's just sit around and whine for 2 fucking hours. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Or 2 hours of my movie time. So, but anyway, so yeah, I like the Lestat side of things. Like, I can get that. Like, you know, in a way, Lestat's a little lonely. You get that sense because it's like he wants a companion. He needs a companion. Louis not fully happy with it, and so Lestat ends up... what happens, Louis attacks this little girl during the plague. Doesn't kill her, or maybe he does kill her, but then Lestat kind of comes in and, of course, gives her the blood and, you know, transforms her over. And this little girl becomes like they're almost like surrogate parents with this little girl. Mm-hmm. And that's when, to me, like, I really get into the movie, because it's just like, it brings in this dark comedy aspect, because she becomes a fierce little killer. And I just love, like, scenes where, like, you know, she's, you know, they're doing piano lessons, and the teacher keeps smacking her wrist with a ruler or whatever. It's like, no, you do it like this. And then the next scene, you just see him slumped over dead. And of course, Lestat comes in, and he's less pissed that he killed her, or that she killed him, and is more pissed with the fact, like, you know, that's your lessons, you know, how are you going? There's a scene where this woman's making her dress, this seamstress is, you know, and she pricks her finger. And of course, you know, she's like, oh, let me see that, I'll kiss it for you. And whenever Kirsten Dunst's character, Claire, kisses, starts like kind of sucking on it, and then she bites it, and the girl's shocked. And then of course when you come back, you know, Lestat walks in, of course now the seamstress is dead. And he's, once again, less pissed that she killed the girl, and more pissed at the fact that, you know, who's going to finish your dress now? And I like that. To me, that just comes off very, you know, quirky and funny. The one problem with Claire is, you know, once again, she's been, I believe they said that, you know, when she hits like 30 years, you know, she's been on the planet for 30 years now, but she's still in that little girl body. At one point, I believe they're in Louisiana this whole time. New Orleans, actually, and she sees this naked woman, you know, changing or bathing or something, and she wishes she could be her. Like, she realizes now, like, she will never grow up, she'll never develop, she'll never, you know, become a woman, and it really puts a funk in things. And of course, Lestat, I think, always kind of sees her more as that little girl, and he doesn't really quite, you know, she's been around for 30 fucking years, you know, so it's like, you know, she's clearly, mentally, she's an adult. But, you know, she's still a little girl. And he constantly kind of treats her as a little girl. Like, he's constantly buying her dolls and shit. Lestat, he does have a temper. And, of course, he is just kind of, he's cruel. He will just, he'll pick on you, whatever. And I don't think he would ever hurt him, because that's his family. But, of course, she don't see it that way, and of course what happens is you can't drink blood from the dead. Yeah. You know, you gotta get a fresh kill, drink the blood, and then boom. So what happens is she lies to her, Lestat, and she's like, listen, they're knocked out, I drugged them, and they're just for you. And of course he's drinking from them, and of course it's, you know, rancid blood or whatever. And then of course Louis comes in, and of course he sides with Claire, and of course he cuts the throat. He didn't cut his head off. He just cuts the throat, slashes the throat of Lestat, and then of course they put him in a swamp. Well, what happens is, I guess as he's going down, sorry, I'm getting over a cold. I'm feeling better, but just this past week I've been coughing shit up. He attacks an alligator or crocodile, or his alligator, and comes after him. And it does provide like one of the few horror moments, you know, because the house is burning and Lestat's trying to attack him and everything. They go to Europe, and to me that provided one of the most disturbing scenes. Because now at this point, Claire and Louis, they're now rid of Lestat, and now they are traveling Europe, and they're just trying to find other vampires. And of course, it's only a 2-3 minute sequence, but you're told that they, you know, years and years of traveling around, and of course, you know, nothing. And what happens is they eventually they come to Paris, I think, and they meet all these vampires. And you get the one who does the whole, he's doing like a Fred Astaire, he's dancing on the ceiling kind of thing. And anyways, it's Antonio Banderas is like the leader of that group. They have their own little theater thing. And I forget the actual name of it because it's like, you know, the gothic type of theater. Dark comedy kind of shit. Well, it's all ran by vampires, and what happens is there's a girl up on stage, and of course she is screaming for help. Why won't you help me? And of course the vampires all descend upon her, and you know they get her butt naked in front of everybody, which has got to add some further humiliation. And then they eventually just feast on her. And I just remember watching as a kid, I was so disturbed. But at the same time, I mean, once again, I was a kid, so I'm seeing this naked chick on stage, so I'm like, oh, naked girl. But at the same time, feeling really bad for her because it's like she is crying for help and nobody's helping because they all think it's part of the show. And even some of them who are kind of like, oh my God, like they're kind of like, this is disturbing. They still, in the back of my mind, like, well, it's still clearly part of the show. I mean, they're all actors up there. And of course, I mean, to me, that was just like, holy shit. They at one point, and then of course we get to the decline of it. Since they killed Lestat, quote unquote, they decide to kill. They decide to kill Claire, and she turns a woman into like her mother in a way. She transforms one of them, but she's not even around that long, and they capture her too. They send both of them to death, and they intend to put Louis in the wall for eternity. Well, Antonio Banderas breaks him out, but it's too late because Claire and them are already dead. And and you get Louis just tearing ass all over this entire vampire clan and kills. I think he kills them all. Or a vast majority. And of course, he realized though that Antonio Banderas is actually the one that did set it up. But doesn't kill him for some reason, which I really thought was odd. Like, really? Like, I would have fucking just took him out right there. I mean, I know he's probably more powerful, but you had a chance to blindside that, so you didn't take. I don't know. Anyways, so anyway, but then he talks about how he bumps into, he goes on and he bumps into Lestat again, and I like the idea that he's a big movie guy because as you're watching movies, you get to see that sunrise on the screen, and that's something he hasn't seen in years. And I thought that was just really interesting right there. You never quite see that aspect of vampires and yearning for the sun, and that's how he kind of cheats it away. Awesome movie. Christian Slater does really great. And I guess it was supposed to be River Phoenix, right before he died, was supposed to be in that role. And then, of course, he overdosed. And then, of course, Christian Slater comes in. But, like, Christian Slater is like the audience. Because, anybody who loves the vampire mythology or whatever, most of us are like, yeah, if I had that choice to turn to a vampire, I'd fucking take it in a heartbeat. And he's that guy. He's like, turn me into it right now. Like, I want to be like you. But then it does end with, and of course, Louis pissed out and he's like, get out of here or whatever. And as Christian Slater's character is on the freeway, he's listening to the tapes, everything like that. Boom, he's attacked right there, and you find out it's Lestat. Lestat's alive and well, and of course he ends it with the same sentence he gives Louis. He's like, I'm gonna give you the choice that I didn't have. And I'm just like, that's awesome. Like, now it's he's getting his wish right there. He's gonna be a vampire, and he'll probably be more receptive to hang out with Louis. I don't know. And I always wish I know there's multiple sequels in the books. In fact, I know the only one they actually turned into a movie was Queen of the Damned, but which I was hit or miss with. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. But I always kind of wish that they would have did a follow-up with this one, with Christian Slater before the truck problem. And have them all that age where, clearly now it'd be too late to try to do a sequel because Tom Cruise is so much older, Brad Pitt's so much older, Christian Slater is just really... So it's like, I don't know, they missed the opportunity. But I remember just as a kid always like, I hope they make a part 2, and they never did. But I'm a huge fan of this movie. I'll definitely say my top 5 vampire movies of all time. Well, that's kind of tough now because there's so many good ones that just came out. But it's probably my top 5, easily my top 5. So, anything else to add, sweetie?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, absolutely.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I get that. All right, well, excuse me. Well, on behalf of Maya,
the recipe, Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bust that till the news, but you're right. Last night, heard the news that Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, did pass away.
Thursday night.
Had a heart attack in his sleep, thankfully. But yeah, sucks. We had the honor of meeting him 2 years ago at Days of the Day. Got my picture taken with him. And I'll talk more about this on Monday. But so rest in peace, Hot Rod. Right there. You will be missed, buddy. Alrighty, well, I recommend both movies. Check them both out. I'm sure anybody's watching my channel right now, you've already seen these, so boom. But if you haven't, and somehow you just missed both of these, do yourself a favor and check them out. So, alright, Maya, movie fan.